In this project, we define critical literacy as an educational practice that prompts learners to examine the connections between language, knowledge, and power, and to reason and act responsibly. Critical literacy is not about the search for an absolute or objective truth. Critical literacy in this conceptualization is more about understanding where assumptions come from and where they might be leading to. So it's about the understanding or an examination of the origins and implications of perspective. So the two most important questions we have in relation to critical literacy are, where is this coming from? Where is this leading to? In the project, we outline 3 different kinds of reading, just as a pedagogical strategy to make clear the distinction between critical literacy and other forms of reading. And we understand reading in the project as reading the text, as reading a book, reading the words, and as in reading the world, reading everything around us. So this outline is not a clear-cut distinction, but it just helps us understand the differences between the 3 different readings. So the first reading that we talk about is traditional reading. Traditional reading would be the reading that we usually do in schools in relation to a text, trying to concentrate on the decodification of the message, decoding the message. So questions like, what did the author say? Was this in the text? What did it say about that? Things like that are related to traditional reading. Now, what we call critical reading in the project is something related to the context of writing. So questions like, why the author wrote the text in that way? Or what is the political orientation of the author? What's the context of writing of this text? So the political context, the historical context where this text was written. How does the author try to manipulate the reader through the text? This would be critical reading. Now, critical literacy is something different from that. Critical literacy is about understanding the effects of the text, how the text can be interpreted in different ways in different contexts. So we're not so much so concerned anymore with the author or the message of the text, the literal message. We're thinking about how different people would read the text. What would be the implications of reading the text in certain ways? For example, if you have a situation to analyze of a teacher in a school, and the student is challenging the teacher in relation to why the student should be there in that school. And the teacher who is there trying to motivate the student to learn, she says, you are here to be somebody in life. So if she says that to the student, from a traditional reading approach, you would ask, what did she say? What did the student say? What was the message? And the message was, you're here to be somebody in life. Then you would stop there. Critical reading, according to this framework, would be about asking, what's the context? So the context in that case is a school. The context of the teacher for saying what she said and the way that she said is that she probably wanted to motivate the student. In the context of the school, we can go further and explore what kind of school was that, where was it, what time, what historical time we're talking about, which country, which socioeconomic strata are we talking about here, what's the context of the student, why did the student come to that class. These kinds of things, questions related to the context, are to do with critical reading. Now, critical literacy would ask a different set of questions. It would ask, for example, how could the student interpret what was said in different ways? For example, if I say to you, you are watching this video to be somebody in life, what else am I saying here? So one possible interpretation of this is that I'm saying that you are nobody, and you're only going to be somebody if you accept what I'm saying. So critical literacy would ask, what is life for this teacher? Where is she coming from? What is somebody for this teacher? Where is she coming from in relation to that? Who is deciding what these concepts are? In whose name, for whose benefit? So these three other questions are very important at this level. Who decides, in whose name, for whose benefit? The other question we ask within critical literacy is, how can this be interpreted otherwise? So if life for this teacher, for example, was about having an education in order to be able to get a good job, in order to make money, in order to have status in life, in order to be successful, because this society defines success in terms of the amount of money you have, then we would be asking, what are other definitions of success from other cultures in different communities, in different societies? What else could be defined as success? And what are the implications of defining success as making money, as having money? So these kinds of questions to do with power, to do with the effects, the implications, the origins, where is it coming from, how is this constructed, they're all to do with critical literacy, which is different than from critical reading, which is concerned with the context of things, which is different than from traditional reading, which is more concerned with the message. And we're not saying the project that critical literacy is good and critical reading is bad, or traditional reading is bad, but we're saying that traditional reading and critical reading as skills are not enough. We need to have critical literacy as well. So the project concentrates on the development of these skills of questioning in specific ways. So here we have 6 important questions that critical literacy prompts. Question number 1 is, where is this coming from? So here we are trying to see how the concept that we are working with, or the perspective, was historically and socially constructed. Question number 2 is, what are the implications of thinking like that? And here we are looking at social implications, political implications, economic implications, environmental implications. Question number 3 is, how could this be thought otherwise? So how would different cultures or different individuals coming from different assumptions relate or think about this issue in a different way? Question number 4 is, who decides? Who decides what's true, what's normal? Who decides what's mainstream? Question number 5 is, in whose name is this decision made? So which groups in society have more power to define for others what they should think, what they should do? And question number 6 is, for whose benefit? So who's benefiting from these decisions? Who's losing, who's gaining, or who's losing and gaining at the same time? So these 6 questions are key questions for critical literacy work.